was my first time killing someone, simply because he refused to be my stepfather. I drugged him and pushed him into the river. I grew up with just my mom. I never knew who my father was. My only wish was to find a stepdad. One day, while walking by the lake, I met a traveling artist. I couldn't explain why, but I felt drawn to him. So I decided to rent him a room in our house. I thought, if he could be my stepdad, how perfect would that be? But he refused. Not only that, he said he was leaving. At that moment, all my anger just exploded. I decided to teach him a lesson. I secretly put sleeping pills in his water. He took the cup without suspicion and drank it. Soon, his eyelids got heavy, and he passed out. I watched him lose consciousness, then calmly pushed him down. With all my strength, I lifted his legs and shoved him into the lake. A few days later, a body washed up on the shore. The police found no clues. They'd never guessed the killer was me, a teenage girl. From that moment on, I became even more reckless. On the first day of school, I gave a bouquet to the new teacher. I told him it was from my mom. Then I ran back to my mom's side. The teacher looked up, his eyes showing surprise. He was clearly captivated by my mom's beauty. There were few women like her. This didn't go unnoticed by his wife. The teacher quickly looked away, like a guilty child. But this was only the beginning of my plan. That day, I took my mom to visit the teacher. I subtly hinted that my mom was single, and asked if he'd be interested in a weekend date. Sure enough, a married man couldn't resist and agreed. They met in the park, and the atmosphere instantly became tense. I watched from a distance, a smug smile on my face. The teacher politely draped his coat over my mom's shoulders. He checked his phone, saw a call from his wife, and quickly answered. She reminded him to come home and cook dinner. Watching the teacher walk away, I saw my mom's disappointment. It only made me angrier. I took all that anger out on a squirrel. In that moment, I made up my mind. I would make sure my mom got that man. That day, I skipped school on purpose. I guessed the teacher, concerned, would come check on us. And sure enough, he did. While they were talking, the teacher accidentally knocked over the fish tank. As they bent down to pick up the shards, the atmosphere turned awkwardly intimate. The teacher couldn't resist the temptation. I watched it all unfold. This was my plan all along. The next day, I went straight to the teacher and asked him to be my stepdad. He not only refused, but he also scolded me. I was furious. He actually pulled up his pants and turned his back on me. I decided to show him who he was dealing with. That night, while the teacher's family was asleep, I threw gasoline bottles through the windows. The house immediately burst into flames, but somehow they weren't hurt at all. Even though the house was reduced to ashes, I wasn't done yet. Later that night, I secretly released a vicious dog when the teacher's daughter came home. She was torn apart, bloodied. By the time the teacher rushed her to the hospital, it was too late. She bled out and couldn't be saved. The teacher broke down, realizing I was the one behind all of it, but this wasn't over.